All right, are you ready to learn the 4 key pillars of asset management as well as a bonus on the back end of that? If so, this video is gonna be perfect. And I'm gonna tell you that the real value in multifamily properties is derived from managing the asset so that you can drive the value. Not property management, asset management. There's a big difference. Let's dive in right now so you know how we do that here with my investment. All right, my name is Tyler Devereaux. I am the owner of 4,000 something apartment units all throughout the US, 400 something million in assets. And listen, asset management is a critical component. This is something that, well, with anything new that you start and do, you don't know how to do. And asset management, what I've learned is that is the lifeblood of these multifamily assets. And today I'm gonna walk you through it. I have not only bought and managed and then exited, at this point, I think it's 15 deals that we've taken full cycle, meaning we've asset managed these deals, taking them full cycle for big exits. I'm gonna show you how we've done that right now and how we train, once again, a bunch of our students at the Multifamily Mindset to do the exact same thing. All right, first one in the world is asset management, okay? Asset management is carrying out the business plan. With any business, you have, well, a couple of components of a business. You have marketing, you have sales, you have fulfillment, finance. Well, asset management is a mix of the fulfillment and the finance. That's what it is. We buy an apartment building, we raise money, that's sales and marketing. Then we buy it and we operate it, that is finance and fulfillment. That's what asset management is. We create a business plan just like any business, and these properties are valued like a true operating business. They're ran, operated, valued like a true operating business. I learned business from apartment buildings, which is beautiful. So asset management is the act of staying on top of the property management company, carry out the business plan, maximize return. I'm gonna go through the pillars for you so you understand at a simplified level what that looks like and how to do that. A couple episodes ago, I walked you through property management. And if you missed that episode, I'm gonna put this link in here so you can go and you can check that episode out. It'll help you a ton. And property management and asset management, well, they go hand in hand. They're critical components. See, the property management company, they handle the day-to-day tenants, toilets, that kind of stuff. Asset management, well, they go through and we go through the 4 things that I'm gonna walk you through, but ultimately it's managing the property managers to carry out the business plan. We don't do the doing, but we help them understand what to do. Let's dive in. Another role, so your first role, financial asset management. Second, you have risk mitigation. Some of these cross over though. The third role is, it also crosses over, but it's capital improvements, capital expenditures. This is the construction on the property. This is going in and repaving the parking lot. It's going into it's repainting. It's, putting in playgrounds. It's new roofs, rehabbing the leasing office. It's also the interiors, rehabbing the interiors. We have somebody that moves out. We take a classic unit, take it to a premium product. The individual who's overseeing this process is your asset manager, who's once again on the property side of things, the actual property level side of things, not just financial, but you have to understand that both of these things marry up. The person who is carrying out on the property needs to be talking to the financial person to make sure, hey, this is the budget, are we in line? Hey, this is the quote, is that in line? Hey, will this put us above projections, below projections, in line with projections? There's communication throughout the entire thing, just like any team, anywhere should always be communicating. But then there's people who actually carry out the communication after that. That's the asset manager who is, once again, at the property level, who's overseeing that. They don't do the construction. Actually, a lot of times, very, very few times, does the actual property management company do the construction either. It is a third party that we have come in, a contractor, there's turn companies that come in and turn these units, you get them rent ready. That is another critical component of asset management. The capital expenditure side of things, the construction side of things is what I would look like, help you define that as. Capital improvements, by the way, are a huge aspect, and all of these things that we do need to funnel to the bottom line. Like, that's the whole point, right, is to drive these values up. By going in and taking care of the property, rehabbing the interiors, as an example, allows us to charge more rent. We're able to charge more rent, not just because we charge more rent, but we're able to charge more rent because we provide a better product. See, people will say that they don't want to raise rents. People are okay with paying a higher rent if the quality is there. They are not okay with paying higher rent if the quality isn't there. The problem that I have with people is when they try to just raise rents without improving it. You need to improve the quality, the standard these tenants live in, things that they have, if you're going to raise the rents. Capital improvements are a critical way to do that. And once again, as you do that, you'll retain tenants, which will increase your occupancy, which will increase your rents, which will increase, once again, the overall profitability and value. All right, the other aspect at the property level is tenant relations. This is the 4th pillar, tenant relations. But in reality, it's the 4th pillar that I'm telling you about, but in reality, it's pillar number 1. Because if you take care of tenants, the bottom line will always be taken care of. Tenant relations is creating a community that people actually want to live in, an experience that people want to have. See, business is nothing more than an experience. You're always making people feel a certain way. Now, the asset manager isn't the one who's necessarily talking to the tenant. That's the property management company. But the asset manager is the one who who is setting the standard of what the culture is, setting the standard of how we do that, make sure that tenants are taken care of. See, culture will trump strategy all day. So your strategy should be culture. See, invest with Aloha. Invest with Aloha is our tagline. That's our tagline because Aloha, if you break down that word, alo means to see, and ha is breath of life. It means we actually see people. These are people that are living at your property that are real people. People's parents, grandparents, kids, these are real people. You breathe life into them. The most important thing that we invest in is people. If you invest in your tenants, once again, your bottom line will always be taken care of. You take care of tenants. And one of the ways to do that is just to care. The number one reason people vacate, it's not rents, by the way. It's not handling maintenance requests. It's not doing those capital improvements that I talked about earlier. The number one reason people renew is because they have a sense of belonging. Sense of belonging means that they actually know that people that live there, not just live there, but the people who are actually working there at the apartment actually care about them. Their needs, their concerns, they care about them as people. Once again, the most important thing we invest in is people. So I believe the most important role within asset management is making sure that property management is, creating a culture that is a beautiful culture where people want to live. They'll stay longer, they'll renew, they'll be happier. Guess what? When people are happy, well, a lot of the problems go away. Take care of people and your problems will be taken care of as well. Take care of other people's problems, well, and your problems will be taken care of. That's also risk mitigation, by the way. One way that we can mitigate risk is by looking at leases. Okay, one of the unique things about a multifamily deal is the sheer number of leases involved. Leases meaning these contracts with the tenants, which these properties are valued by the cash flow, they're valued by the income, which is secured by the lease. So it's an important aspect of the deal. Unique part of this is you have leases that are expiring every single month. If you're trying to tackle that month, you're already behind. You're already way behind. You need to get it pre-leased. Your units will go vacant for a number of days before you can actually get it filled. One way that the property level asset management should be checking into all the time is turn times, because every day that the unit goes vacant is days then rent that you'll never see again. So for example, one of our takeover strategies when we buy a property and then take it over is we reach out to any tenant who has a lease expiring within 90 days and we see what their plan is. Are they going to renew or are they not? That's not just at takeover though, that's literally the entire hold period. At the 90-day mark, the manager goes to the tenant, are you looking to renew? Let's say they're not looking to renew. Well, now you have 90 days to plan for that. You can definitely get it pre-leased in 90 days, which the goal is the day the tenant moves out, the next day a new tenant moves in. Team comes in, takes care of everything they already know that needs to be taken care of. Next day a new tenant moves in. That shortens your turn time, increases rents, and reduces risk. Now, I told you that I would give you a bonus step. So the 4 pillars, it's a rehash. Pillar number 1, financial asset management. Pillar number 2, risk mitigation. Pillar number 3 is capital improvements. Pillar number 4, which is really pillar number 1, is tenant relations, taking care of tenants. Your bonus side, which is the most important side if we really look at it at any level, it encompasses everything, which is problem solving. Your job as an asset manager is to solve problems. And I'll promise you this, if you ask my kids what I do, they'll say that I buy apartments. The next thing they'll tell you is that I solve problems, but good problems. So many people get stuck in problems that are not profitable problems. I need to know what's the problem, what's causing it, can we solve it, and if we solve it, what will the return be? And then I can determine, is that a problem that I should spend time, effort, and energy on or not? If it's not a profitable problem, if it's not a problem that's going to produce any sort of outcome that I want, then I don't spend time in it. See, you're a problem solver. If you can solve problems, you will create massive amounts of wealth because problem solving is very valuable. So one thing that I want to drill home to you is if you're an asset manager, if you're a business owner of any kind, if you're a leader of any kind, if you're somebody that is of value, a producer in the economy, you solve problems. That's what you do. You don't run from them. You run right into them and you solve them, and you'll be one of the most valuable sons of bitches on the entire planet. And that's asset management 101.